Nerdboxer Media. Nerdboxer was created to provide a platform and voice for Black intellectual males, particularly biological fathers. Though our content is aimed at Black males, we produce content that anyone could listen to. If there is an issue with us promoting a positive message to the Black American male, this is not the podcast for you. We will not ever entertain the idea of changing that stance. This podcast will have intervals of dialogue provided by myself and the smooth sounds of Chillhop music. Proper credits for the music is located in the comments. That being said, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on, y'all? It is Knowledge Rise with the Knowledge Rise podcast, episode number 7. We are happy to be here, happy to be broadcasting, thankful to be alive and healthy enough to bring you another episode. The weather is warming up in the Pacific Northwest, which is good news because I have a small garden with raspberries, strawberries, and blueberries growing in my backyard. And over the last week or so, it's been raining a whole lot, so the sun is a much needed change. Outside of that, life is moving along. I hope all of you are growing stronger, wiser, and doing the things you want to get done in life. I want to send a special shout out to my man Jerome, COO of the company known as Petals from a Black Rose. He has helped me transition from the harsh chemical-based soaps found on our store shelves everywhere to some very smooth soap that is oh so good to the body, namely the Intuition and the Barbershop scent. Jerome and his lovely wife, Lachelle, have also sent me a box filled with about 4 more soaps, lotion, and scented oil. I posted a pic of the box on our Instagram account at The Real Nerdboxer, and as always, I will be doing a review in the future to let you guys know how that worked out. I also want to give a shout out to True Products. They make their own laundry detergent, which is free of chemicals and perfumes that we find in common detergents. I already washed a few loads with it, and I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it does work. It is a fine product. It does cost a little bit more than the cheaper stuff, but the cheaper stuff is filled with a bunch of things we probably shouldn't be putting onto our bodies. So thank you to True Products for a timely delivery and a great product. We will speak on that more in the future. I must also give a shout out to my father for being a man that I could always look up to. Shout out to my mom for staying true to who she was, even when we had our disagreements. I want to give a shout out to all my Instagram fam that keeps my mind right. And a shout out to everybody who's been tuning in. I appreciate you taking time out to give us a listen. I appreciate the feedback I've received, as well as those who have been spreading the word. I really appreciate you. In today's episode, we are going to take a different path. I wanted to take some time out to catch everyone up on the things Nerdboxer has planned for the rest of the year. I've made posts from time to time about things that are coming up, but now that the summer is here, it is go time. We have 2 of our books that are about to be released. We're also going to speak on the Masculine Engineering Conference that will be held in October of 2019 in Portland, Oregon. We will also be talking about the youth and adult basketball tournaments we are putting together in the Pacific Northwest region. This is Nerdboxer's attempt to get men and women out of the house and to be active. We spend a lot of time on our butts watching TV, being isolated and calling ourselves introverts, but Nerdboxer thinks that there is life in the community when the community comes outside and interacts with each other. But now it is time for some good music. As you guys know, I am a huge Boonie Mayfield fan, and hearing his music always puts me in podcast mode. If you haven't had the chance to check him out, please get on Instagram, use your Google search or your Yahoo search and look for him. Boonie Mayfield is his name, and this track is called Nautical Dawn off the album Black Kool-Aid.
And I remember things. I remember the way it began. I remember the way it was in the beginning.
Once again, that track is called Nautical Dawn by the phenomenal producer by the name of Boonie Mayfield. All right, first up, let's talk about the two books we're about to release. The first book is called Masculine Engineering, Rebuilding the Foundation of Masculinity. This book started off as an emotional piece for me that was basically me venting my frustration at how masculinity has been turned into something evil. It was after reading through it a couple times I realized that I was writing the book for everyone else except my intended targets, boys, teenage males, and men. So I went back to the drawing board, making sure I left the emotions out and stuck to the science of who we are as men, analyzing the mistakes we have made and finding the solutions. This book only speaks to women in the introduction, meaning it's not going to be a Derek Jackson manual. This book is for biological fathers and heterosexual men. Men like myself, my father, Medgar Evers, and many other men before us. It deals with manners, code of ethics, honor, civility, and integrity. The style of the book is pretty straightforward. I explain how I made mistakes in the past, identified the error in my ways, held myself accountable. Instead of giving the reader instructions, I simply provided some solutions and suggestions for the reader to consider. I also ask questions that challenges today's narrative about men. I'm proud of this book because it was a way for me to let go of a lot of regret I've carried in my life due to me not living up to the lessons taught to me by my father, as well as the lessons I learned from other men in my community and the men in my mother's church, as well as men I've met along the way. The second book is called Black Males, Misandry, and the Broken Home. This book was also a challenge at first. I had to put the anger I had aside, which stemmed from my experiences with misandry in the Black community. From being viewed as a potential predator due to the false accusations against the Central Park Five, to Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and the Democratic Party in general, pushing men down only to leave Black women and women in general feeling like they didn't need a man. I experienced a lot of things personally, namely people trying to shame me for having a father growing up. But I left that out for the most part. I pointed out things like how the Black woman is praised as an athlete, but the Black men are called slaves. I point out how rap music gets a bad rap for its lyrics about Black women, but country music isn't called out on its silence about domestic violence against white women. I speak on how the world talks about gun violence while never speaking on the number of abortions, death by heart disease, diabetes, stroke, and cancer. Also, I call out negative remarks that always seem to be aimed at Black males, particularly Black basketball players and football players who make high salaries, but we don't put that same energy when a white player makes the same amount of money or more money. In fact, you'll hear people say that that player deserves it. This book is written for Black males who are constantly wondering why they have to answer for things like Black on Black crime when the women in their family never have to answer for anything at all. In fact, the women always seem to blame the man for everything while being victims, superwoman, and independent all at the same time. I'm not looking to stir controversy, but I most certainly won't be afraid to speak on what black males go through in the black community and the world in general. This book will benefit black males of all ages as well as women. The group of people it will benefit most are our teenage boys. Many of them are brainwashed into thinking that no matter what a woman does, you still have to live a life of servitude. These boys are also taught that no matter what their child's mother does, you still have to live up to these unrealistic standards of being a man and a father. Both of these books were scheduled to be released on May 30th. I ran into a snag in regards to the formatting, which is my fault, and I do apologize. And I had to make some last-minute edits to make things work. The release is now June 10th. To the people who have pre-ordered, I will give you a gift for the extra long wait. I do appreciate you helping me out in the beginning when nobody else would, and I will reward you for that loyalty. Please be sure to keep your eyes on your emails this weekend, as we will give you an update on the status and what will happen in the future. Again, though, ladies and gentlemen, the name of the books are Masculine Engineering, Rebuilding the Foundation of Masculinity, and the title, Black Males, Misandry, The Broken Home. But let's get back to some music. Right now, we're going to listen to some sounds from the Chillhop Winter Collection 2016. first annual Masculine Engineering Conference that will be held in Portland, Oregon, October 2019. Building on the energy from our book, Masculine Engineering, this is Nerd Boxer's attempt to bring men from all ages and backgrounds together under one roof with one goal in mind, which is rebuilding the foundation of masculinity. As men, myself included, we have been desperately trying to maintain the image of masculinity through the lens of being politically correct, not offending anyone, and to please women. Well, that isn't what masculinity is about. Our manhood has been dictated by men who have never proven themselves to be men of honor, integrity, decency, and civility. Instead, manhood has been manipulated to serve the interests of not only selfish women, government agencies, and the mainstream media, but men who pretend to be men but tear us down. I won't name those people, but we all know a few of them from social media. But manhood has been manipulated by males who have monetized the anger of women and pandered to the bitter attitudes of those who have never experienced positive interaction with men of quality. Even worse, we men have never had a rite of passage, so to speak. Sure, many of us had quality examples of solid men who took care of their families and communities when we were kids, but there is no transparency among men when it comes to what boys and teenagers should learn in order to become men of quality themselves. We know being healthy and in shape is a part of being a man, but how many miles do we run? How many push-ups? Do we lift weights? What about the food we eat? These questions are answered by assumptions typically, but not facts that men can all agree on. We know we are supposed to treat the ladies with respect and be gentlemen about it, but what is being a gentleman? What is respect? Is it saying yes ma'am, or is it calling them by their first name? At what point does honoring our women become servitude? How we interact with another man's wife, how we respect other people's property, apologize, handshakes, how we dress. There are many things as men we never talked about. That's what this conference aims to address, the things we haven't talked about together. The conference will be a 3-day event. Day 1 will be our introduction and speaking on the events of the past, such as the Welfare Act, child support, the deadbeat dad law, the crime bill, feminism, public school education, and the family unit being broken. Day 2 will focus on things we as men have gotten wrong, our flaws, mistakes, and weaknesses. This will be followed by an afternoon of learning about our successes, victories, our progress, and our strengths. Day 3 will focus on suggestions and solutions we can take home with us and try to implement. We will have mastermind groups and breakout sessions. The conference will have food and beverages, Wi-Fi, reading material, and more. We are currently working on the itinerary, which will include fathers' rights organizations, fathers, tradesmen, business owners, brothers, fathers, uncles, and nephews. We will also have a select group of women who will be in attendance to not only hear what we men have to say, but help us do better by listening to mature, honest dialogue from women who have held themselves accountable. The event will be hosted by Jay Norman, founder of Thoughts Men Aren't Supposed to Think, Thoughts Women Aren't Supposed to Think, and Guard Your Seed. We will also have the author Racine McGee as a special guest speaker. If you think you have a presentation that would be a good fit for the conference, please email us at hr@nerdboxer.com. We will be giving you weekly updates from here on out on the Knowledge Rise podcast, as well as our Instagram page and Facebook page. Let's get back to the music. right there was a track by Boonie Mayfield, and it is called Tinted Windows. It's now time to talk about the Nerdboxer Culture and Business Center that will be opening this fall in Portland, Oregon. The mission of this store is to deliver small business products that would normally not be sold in major retail chains. It will also be a place small business owners and customers can get their packages shipped, print, copy, and faxed. We are also looking to provide mailbox services. For our business owners and sole proprietors, we will offer order fulfillment, which will help those who have a company but still have a 9-to-5 that makes getting to the post office in time almost impossible. The store will feature a coffee stand to satisfy our coffee lovers. The store itself will offer coffee as well as products made by small businesses that you would not normally see in major retail store shelves. Things like prep products, skincare, bath and body, laundry detergent, herbs and spices, barbecue sauces and rubs, meal prep packages, and more. We will make the extra effort to deliver the flavor of Africa, Mexico, the Caribbean, Southern soul food, East Indian, and many more flavors. We want to help small businesses deliver their products to the public without the hassle of shipping packages for every order. If you know of a small business that sells quality products and would be a good fit for our store, please send them to our website or social media accounts. We are always looking for products to add to our inventory, so please help us out and spread the word. Stay tuned for more information. Again, if you know someone that would be interested, have them visit our website, nerdboxer.com, or our social media accounts on Facebook and Instagram @The Real Nerdboxer. Or you can have them email us at hr@nerdboxer.com. Last but not least, we are creating a series of youth and adult basketball tournaments. We chose the sport of basketball because we didn't want the elements to keep us from holding the tournament or delaying things. We also chose basketball because many churches and organizations have a basketball hoop outside. And even if you're not great at it, it's a great way to get men, women, and children together and have a good time. We haven't yet decided if we are going with a competitive tournament per se, like the AAU tournaments for youth, but we do want something that the youth would want to get involved in and be competitive, as well as help people that do not play basketball get out into the community and have a good time. We will be releasing more information about these tournaments in the future. But in the meantime, please, if you know of anyone that has basketball teams or they're a part of the basketball leagues in your locality, please have them reach out to us at our email or on the website or on our social media accounts. That being said, I think that is enough of me talking to you guys today. I do thank you all for listening. I know that was a lot of information, and it does seem like we have a lot going on. But we have been putting these things together for the last couple of years, and 2019 is the best time as any to get these things going. We appreciate you guys taking time out to listen. I thank everyone that's been here day one, as well as the people who have come along since day one. Your attention and time is appreciated. We appreciate all the feedback. Please remember that you can listen to our podcast on YouTube, SoundCloud, Google Play, and iTunes. All you have to do is either search for Knowledge Rides or Nerdboxer. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks again to my mom and dad. Thanks again to my Instagram family. Thank you, Jerome and Lachelle, for the wonderful products. Thank you, The True Products, for a new detergent that I will now use from here on out. I'm very excited about that, and I'm very glad I can help out a small business that is delivering a quality product. As always, the Knowledge Rise podcast will be released every Thursday from here on out, typically between the afternoon time and the evening. Please stay tuned on our Instagram and Facebook page to know about any new episodes or events that are coming up. Thank you very much again. I can't thank you guys enough. I will continue to thank you. I'm very grateful. I am very thankful. I appreciate all of the feedback. I appreciate everyone who has helped me directly or indirectly. Peace to all the biological fathers that are out there doing what they need to do. Much respect to the men who have somehow maintained their sanity. Blessings to all of us who have struggled and couldn't handle the pressure, especially those who are not here anymore. Thank you for all the fathers' rights movements in their own right, as well as the moms and women who have grown fed up with the misandry that is directed at our males, boys, and men of all ages. We couldn't do the things we do in 2019 without your help. Seeing that other people outside of biological fathers recognizes our pain and is willing to help is a huge help. I can go on and on about how you've helped me and other fathers who have lived in pain and been treated as if they're second-class citizens, all because they wanted to be fathers. This podcast was made with you in mind. You will never tune into this podcast and hear any negativity thrown your way. I will go out of my way to deliver information that will help you, words that will inspire you, and messages that will help you facilitate growth, inner peace, and progress in your own life. Please take time to uplift the younger men in the community. They need every piece of it they can get from grown men. Take some time out to listen to them, empathize from where they're coming from, and ask them, is there anything you can do to help? That doesn't mean stop everything you're doing in life to be Superman. That means giving them time to listen, be empathetic, and figure out what you can do to help them. This is Knowledge Rise for Nerdboxer Media. Peace.